Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Carolina Cruz is live in our newsroom this morning with more on the security efforts in place. Carolina.
Good morning, Caitlin. Well, it includes more security and police presence in key cities that surround us in New York City, in Boston, even Philadelphia. There will be increased security during the Eagles playoff game tonight. And even though Iran and its partners haven't made a specific or credible threat against the U.S., the former acting director of the CIA says they could take any number of actions.
Over the last 10 years, the Iranians have gotten much more sophisticated in their cyber capabilities, so their ability to do real damage to networks here in the United States is something that we have to take seriously.
The Department of Homeland Security issued a new bulletin on its terrorism threat advisory system. In it, they say Iran maintains a robust cyber program and can execute cyber attacks against the United States. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll dive into how Homeland Security says that you can help and how to be prepared in the event there are cyber attacks. In the newsroom, Carolina Cruz, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now this morning, we're learning more details on the deadly police shooting in Ansonia. Police say the man killed was 30-year-old Michael Gregory of Ansonia. Officers responded to Myrtle Avenue Thursday night after a woman said her boyfriend became violent. When they got there, they tell us he had a knife and ran toward the officers. The officers involved were Sergeant Christopher Flynn, Officer Brendan Nelson, and Officer Wojciech Pogorski. The shooting is now under investigation by state police. Let's turn to Hartford now. That's where police have identified the man killed in the city's first homicide of the year. This is a story that we first brought to you as breaking news yesterday morning. Police say 27-year-old Quadir Paris died after being shot on Martin Street. After that shooting, a family member crashed a car into police at Albany Avenue and Vine Street while trying to rush the victim to the hospital. Police are now searching for the suspect. And Hartford police are investigating another shooting that happened on Main Street. Police say 48-year-old woman was shot in the leg. She was able to talk to police before going to the hospital. We turn to East Haven now. That's where police say 26-year-old Joshua Miller started a house fire with a cigarette after the bank foreclosed on his mother's home. The suspect told police he was emotional about that foreclosure and he started the fire in the bedroom while his mother was at the doctor. He's charged with arson. New this morning, a tough morning for Patriots fans. The season officially came to an end at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. New England hosted the Tennessee Titans in the AFC wildcard game. They lost to Tennessee 20-13. With the loss, the Pats were eliminated from the playoffs, and many think it may have been Tom Brady's last home game for New England since he is a free agent after this season. Still to come this morning here on Eyewitness News, we continue to follow the impact of the deadly airstrike here at home. We'll have a look at the anti-war protests happening in major cities across the country this weekend. And a devastating fire continues to spread through Australia, why officials say the end is not yet in sight.
You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News with Caitlin Duclos and early warning weather with Mike Cameron. Connecticut's #1 local news, Eyewitness News this morning.
We want to get back to that developing news we're following. Dozens of protesters gathered in major cities around the country this weekend to protest the airstrike in the Middle East. Groups marched in Washington, D.C., joined by actress Jane Fonda. And protesters also took to the streets of New York City, Chicago, and San Francisco. More calls for peace are expected today. Well, now this morning, firefighters continue to battle deadly fires in Australia. Extreme heat made parts of Sydney one of the hottest places on Earth yesterday. At least 23 people have been killed, and communities are being urged to evacuate as 1,300 homes and 12 million acres of land have been destroyed.
We have seen this disaster escalate to an entirely new level. The ferocity and the absence of dousing rains that would normally bring a season like this under greater control is nowhere in sight.
And officials say there's still more than a month left in the fire season with no end in sight for those fires. Well, tomorrow, Harvey Weinstein's criminal sex assault trial is set to begin. Rose McGowan and Rosanna Arquette are among the prominent women to accuse him of misconduct. McGowan says she won't be in the courtroom because it's too painful, but Arquette plans to be there to support his accusers. Weinstein has denied the allegations of sexual assault and harassment.
Well, we are tracking a little bit of rain that was left over from last night. That's gone. And the wind that we're going to have for the rest of the day today, it's also going to be a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday. We'll talk about that, but also that we've got a couple of storms coming next week, little ones. We'll take a look at those coming up as well.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather with meteorologist Mike Cameron.
Well, today will be the better of the two weekend days. The rain showers are over, the clouds are going away, and what we're going to have is just a little bit more in the way of a wind. So it's a trade-off. The wind will be rather strong. Sometimes the gusts could go up to 40 miles an hour, in fact, today, if not going a little bit higher. Other than that, we're going to have a brighter and drier day today with partly sunny skies, so that'll be good. And so the whole day will be like this. It'll be nice and bright and breezy, if not windy, but dry. Our next chance for some precipitation is going to be coming in tomorrow morning in the form of some snow showers. So here's that wind. It's rather strong. Sustained wind is anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. You can see how some of these gusts go close to 30 miles an hour out there, if not at times a little bit higher. The recent gust in Groton and Hartford, both at 28 miles per hour, is pretty strong. So you'll notice it out there. It's not enough to do damage necessarily in any big way, but it's enough to be noticeable and enough to warrant maybe the extra layer of clothing. You can see how early warning pinpoint Doppler now is showing no precipitation. That has pushed to the east, so that's no longer the problem. It's just going to be a wind today, but you can see how we do also have a partly cloudy sky. There are some snow showers up through the Great Lakes. Don't necessarily worry about those. Those are because of the wind, and they have a short shelf life. They're going to have a tendency to die off probably in eastern New York just because the wind is so strong and they'll get shredded apart. But the next chance for snow is going to be coming from the western Great Lakes as a little clipper comes down and gives us the chance for some snow showers by tomorrow morning. So your day today, a lot of towns will sit in the 30s. A few of us will have highs in the 40s today, and it will be partly sunny and windy. Overnight tonight will still be breezy, but we'll have increasingly cloudy skies, and by morning, some snow showers will start to come. So here's our futurecast, tomorrow's weather today, and we'll talk about those snow showers in a sec here. Just go through today first, just to show you how we have that partly cloudy sky expected, and this model is confirming that. You can see all the way through 6 o'clock tonight how it is going to remain partly to mostly clear. And then once we get past midnight, I think that's when we're going to start to see the clouds start to increase. So you can see more of them in the sky here at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And here's about 6. And that's when we start to see some snow showers coming into the picture here for far western Connecticut. Hit or miss snow showers across the state. We're seeing some more propagate across the state as we head through the late morning. Here's noontime. We're still seeing a few of these things around. Even in the afternoon, we could still see a few flurries or light snow showers drifting across the sky. I'd say more of the snow will be in the morning, though, and if there's any accumulation at all, it would come from what we have in the morning. Then we take a little bit of a break Monday afternoon, Monday night, and Tuesday morning. Then Tuesday, very late in the afternoon, a new system comes in, and I'm just looking at the GFS, and you can see how this model pushes it across southern New England, and then it goes offshore. And there is the possibility that we could see some accumulating snow with that. I was taking a look at some of the data on this one, and some of the model runs of most recent are actually giving us a couple to 2 inches of snow, maybe even pockets of 3 to 4 inches of snow late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. So this one is more than anything the one we're going to be watching because that one might have a little bit higher potential for giving us a little bit of accumulating snow. And again, I think the timing is late Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So I'd say anytime after 6 or 7 p.m. Tuesday is when we might start to see some snow falling from the sky from that whole thing. And I'd say it probably would end sometime maybe 8 or 9 in the morning Wednesday. And then it's done. And then it turns windy and it stays cold with highs Wednesday. And yes, even into Thursday in the 30s, about where they should be for this time of the year.